Japanese beetles do have enemies: birds, wasps, flies, little worms you can't even see. None of them are going to clear up an outbreak overnight. Let's talk about what nature brings to this fight and what it doesn't.
Did you know Japanese beetles aren't from here? They showed up in the US back in 1916, hitching a ride in a shipment of plants into New Jersey. Back home in Japan, they're a minor nuisance because a whole cast of natural enemies keeps them in check. But when they arrived here, they left all those enemies behind. So for the most part, our local wildlife just hasn't caught up. That's the real reason these beetles hit so hard. Not because they're unstoppable, but because they showed up without their usual referees. The good news is that's slowly changing. Some predators here have started to figure out that these shiny beetles are, food. So what exactly is eating them? Birds are probably our biggest assistants. Starlings, robins, cardinals, and others will pick off adult beetles, and several birds will dig grubs right out of the lawn, which is a bit of a mixed blessing. Then there are two specialists worth knowing by name. There's a parasitic fly called Istochetta eldritchi that lays its eggs directly on adult beetles. And then there's a parasitic wasp, Typhia vernalis, that goes after the grubs underground. Neither one is sold in a bottle. You can't order them, but they're out there and they're slowly establishing. You've also got your everyday garden good guys pitching in: spiders, predatory stink bugs, and other insects that'll take an opportunistic beetle whenever they can. Now, about those grub digging critters. Birds, skunks, and raccoons love to dig for grubs. So if your lawn suddenly looks like someone went at it with a garden fork overnight, that's often a sign you've got grubs. The animals found them before you did. It's helpful and annoying at the same time, which is pretty much the definition of gardening, right? Now let's talk about the biological controls you can actually purchase. There is a lot of hype in this space, so buyer beware. First, beneficial nematodes. These are microscopic worms you apply to the soil, and they hunt down grubs and kill them from the inside. I'll add the specific names to the screen because they're pretty hard to say. Applied correctly in moist soil at the right time of year, these can reduce your grub population. I'll get into the how-to in the grub video later. There's also a specific strain of Bacillus thuringiensis sold under the names like grubGONE and BeetleGONE. It's nice because it's not a hazard to bees, and some formulations can be sprayed right up to harvest. Research results have been a bit variable, but it's a real organic tool. I'm placing a link below so you can have a look at organic Japanese beetle control products you may want to try. And now the one I need to talk about, milky spore. You'll see it recommended everywhere, and it sounds amazing. A bacteria that only attacks Japanese beetle grubs. But here's the thing. Modern university trials have not been able to show that applying commercial milky spore actually reduces grub numbers in any meaningful way. Minnesota Extension flatly says it hasn't shown a benefit in current research. So here's my honest bottom line on biological control. It's a long game, not a rescue mission. Predators and biologicals lower the pressure over time. They help fewer beetles emerge in future seasons. What they will not do is save that beautiful canna or dahlia that's getting eaten right now, today. And there's one more very sad reality check. Even if you knock down every grub in your yard, adult beetles are strong flyers. They'll happily cruise in from your neighbor's untreated lawn and land on your plants anyway. So, biological control is one piece of the puzzle, a good piece, but it's part of a bigger strategy, not the whole thing.
Speaking of the same day hands-on problem, that's what the next video is about. I'm going to talk about organic controls that you can use today, right now. Until next time, I'm Carol at Almost 2 Acres, your senior gardener, giving grandma tips and tricks from Zone 4. Let's get growing.